What's up, everybody? My name is Godzi, and welcome back to another episode of Umineko When They Cry Answers Arc. Last episode, we continued with Chapter 6, Erika returned back to the island, and cheese. I think that about sums it up. Let's continue.
Back then I was, and I guess I still am, a bit of a klutz. I always forgot where I'd put things, or think I'd lock something up when I'd actually forgotten. I caused a lot of trouble.
I remember how Aunt Nazi used to get mad at you all the time. But eventually, Shannon managed to overcome all that forgetfulness. Oh, and how'd you do that?
It wasn't anything big, but I got into the habit of writing things down. I'd write down wherever I put something important. For things that happened often, I made a checklist and always made sure to check it.
Meanwhile, Erika.
So? Did you see Beatrice, or didn't you?
Oh, she's with them. I thought they were in the cousin's room. I guess they're not.
Oh, I didn't see her directly, but, well, some very strange things did happen.
She was talking about a certain summer night. Shannon had been doing the nightly rounds. From her perspective, it was a ghost story. From the witch's perspective, it was just a story of a little summer's night prank. So actually gonna delve into that story? Oh no, it's back to the two Beatrices. Which reminds me, someone actually told me that there were clues in Questions Arc that there are two human Beatrices. Thank you for telling me. That's helpful. Also, something about the last scene there with Shannon, Jessica, George, Battler, and Erika that I want to mention. Something that just came to mind as I was reading that little segment. Canon never really talks to the cousins that much. It's always Shannon. Like, we never really see Shannon and Canon hanging around with all the cousins, which is odd. It's like they don't want to, like, it's like they only want one-on-one sessions with all the cousins at a time. We never see all the cousins and Shannon and Canon together at the same time, which is weird since they're all the same age. But, well, around the same age. Obviously, Maria's considerably younger, but they're all within, like, that same age range of roughly, like, 15 to 18, which, come to think of it, George is, like, 20-something, isn't he? I don't remember. He's, like, 22, 23? I forgot. No, he's 20. Whatever, he's at least 20, and then Battler's 18, Jessica's 18, Shannon, I think, is 18, and Canon's, like, 15 or 16. Whatever. Little sister, do you understand the anti-magic toxin that humans possess?
No. What is it, sister?
Well, the time of witches has long since passed. Those vile humans who claim to rule over everything came to deny our existence and possess a powerful toxin. That also reminds me, when I ended the last episode, after I press stop recording, I always go here and then go straight to save the game. And I happen to notice it actually shows the two Beatrices here, which is interesting. So we have Beatrice, the new witch who was revived from the rules. She has not lived 1,000 years, and her behavior is vastly different from how it once was. She's a witch who doesn't even know how to use magic. However, she has no fear of magic circles or spider webs. It's almost as though she's just a human. She's attached to Battler and makes it her goal to do whatever she can for him. And then, Beatrice, the elder sister. Interesting. A mysterious witch who existed even before the rules. She has the same name as Beato, but she wasn't given the goal of devoting herself to Battler. The final version of the witch sealed away by Kinzo. She spends her days pulling small pranks and clearing away the magic-resisting toxin, all for the sake of her resurrection. She is similar to the evil spirits of Akujikishima in many ways, such as her fear of spiderwebs. She is the one who gave Shannon the golden butterfly brooch. Oh, yeah, okay. Speaking of Shannon, though, this Beatrice here seems to have a tattoo on her leg. Similar, well, actually shaped just like the, the emblem, the one-winged eagle, that's what it is. But then if I had to go back, I'm stupid. Yeah, I'm a stupid man. So, that, and then Shannon, it's on the other leg. That's a pain. I mean, it's not like this Beatrice here technically exists anyway, so that might just be a connection anyways. And another connection, Shannon, the older sister to Canon, kinda. And then this Beatrice, the older sister to this Beatrice, which I just realized you can't see my mouse. But, whatever. I think, is that another parallel, the tattoo? Don't tell me, obviously. But I'll keep it in mind.
Is that toxin harmful to us?
It is extremely dangerous. If we were exposed to it, our forms would probably evaporate in an instant. However, one thing we do have in our favor is the fact that our existence is still extremely weak. Because of that, the toxin does not affect us greatly. At worst, it can only transform us into mist for a time.
However, we'd rather avoid it if we can, right?
Correct. Yes, I see that you are indeed me. You catch on quickly. The older sister appeared to be haughty at first, but perhaps because she was so happy to have met her double and little sister, she was more than willing to teach her anything she wanted to know. The first thing she taught was that they were witches, a different type of being than humans. Beato had thought her inability to use magic meant she wasn't a witch, but apparently she was still a witch nonetheless. And she learned that witches like her were bound by various limitations unlike humans. The greatest of those restrictions was the anti-magic toxin possessed by humans.
So, in other words, we mustn't enter a human's field of vision.
Correct. You can think of it as though human eyes radiate the toxin. If they see you, it is the same as your body being burnt. And though the effect is weaker, being heard or sensed can also result in contact with the toxin.
So, even just getting close to humans is dangerous to us.
Wasn't Father a human? Why am I not burnt by Father's toxin? Because he just doesn't really have much of it anymore, I guess, or maybe that's just the rules of the game board. If we stock up magical power and have it acknowledged by humans, that toxin can be reduced drastically. In other words, by having our existence acknowledged by humans, we make them lose their toxin, making it possible for us to appear before them once more.
I see. Simply put, as we are now, we can only exist when humans aren't around.
Does the magic-denying toxin really matter much in the case of a human culprit, though? Like, if Shannon and Canon are the culprits, whatever the hell, those two are culprits, then does it really matter when one dresses himself, when Shannon, probably, dresses herself as Beatrice and appears before somebody? Like, when Beatrice appeared before, well, it doesn't really matter when Beatrice appeared before Shannon or Canon in the second game, but when she appeared before, like, Genji, even though he might just be an accomplice in the case, or Rosa and Maria, because it seems like Maria recognizes Beatrice. Like, I've mentioned this at the beginning of Answers Arc. Maria, whoever Beatrice is, Maria seems to recognize them, and I'm not sure how important that is, but she at least recognizes them in some capacity. We are still very lacking in magical power, which makes us inferior to even a stray cat hiding from humans in the shadows. The main goal of the older sister was to gain a large supply of magical power and be revived as a great witch strong enough to have no fear of the anti-magic toxin. For that purpose, she had wandered around the mansion night after night, striving to regain her magical power and reduce the anti-magic power of the humans. The powerful previous Beatrice, whom she had read about in Featherin's library, had appeared openly in front of humans and had even toyed with them at will. According to her big sister, such a level of power was most impressive. To think that a witch could appear openly before humans and use magic at will! A witch like that would be so great that even I can hardly imagine it. Is that what we will eventually become?
Yes. She was like a witch from a picture book, appearing openly before the humans of the mansion and summoning magic and underlings at will.
How inspiring. If that is our future, it means that all of our hard work will have been worth the effort.
That's right. Anyway, sister, how is that goal connected to going around unlocking windows like this?
It was the middle of the night. They were following behind servants who were checking the locks on the doors and windows, and undoing those locks after the servants thought they had been set. It felt more like a child's prank than the work of a witch. This is the path that leads to becoming a great witch. All journeys begin with a single step. To those who cannot understand, that first step may look quite foolish from time to time. However, it is still a momentous first step. With pride as though making the first step for mankind on the surface of the moon, the older sister undid the lock on a window with a click. Do you not understand, little sister? Can you not see why a little thing like this is so momentous?
No, big sister. I don't really understand.
If these two are indeed supposed to be a parallel to Shannon and Canon, then I guess the whole reason why, like, what I was thinking, why the hell would Shannon go around teaching Canon to walk around at night and open doors and windows that were previously shut and locked in order to perpetuate the Beatrice story? But that's literally the reason to perpetuate the Beatrice story. To make it seem real so that everyone would think it's magic when Shannon carries out her fucking murder plan, which I guess would make it seem like she did plan it super far in advance. Like, how long had Canon been working at Rokonjima? As of 1986, like 3 years, 4? It was less than 6, but more than like 2, I'd imagine. Probably 3 or 4. The older sister closed her eyes lightly, smiled, and opened the unlocked window a crack. Cool outside air flowed in, making the curtains flutter. Let us put in the toxin-filled words of a human. Wait, let us put it in the toxin-filled words of a human. We are not supposed to exist on this island. I shall go further. Right now, there is no one in this corridor, and yet the lock has been undone and the window is opened. Can you see how great a miracle, a work of magic, a proof of our existence that is? Even you should understand the coolness of this breeze.
I do understand. It's nice and cool.
The coolness, the softness of the breeze, and the feel of the fluttering curtain touching your hair. All of these things show that we truly are here.
So, by unlocking the window like this, we can leave behind proof that we really did exist.
And that is why I unlocked it. Of course, it wasn't just small pranks like opening a window. She could also smash windows and vases or leave behind strange fires and mysterious scribbles. In fact, one time, she actually did play a large-scale prank in the kitchen, piling up kitchenware in an eerie manner and leaving behind a bizarre scribble, which scared the servants considerably. It was a complete success. She'd really managed to scare the servants and succeeded in making them acknowledge the existence of magic, weakening the anti-magic toxin. However, she usually chose to make her presence known by unlocking windows. The act of unlocking symbolized her release from the limitations imposed by the human's toxin. Wait, Canon's even been working at Rokonjima longer than Goda, right? And Goda's been there for like 2 or 3 years, so maybe Canon's been around for 4 or 5? Yeah. I don't remember. Maybe it actually shows. Young servant. Nope. Goda. He hasn't served them long, so it's been at least a year, perhaps 2. One day, we will become a single witch and rule over all of Rokonjima. When that time comes, we will gain complete freedom and will be capable of stretching our wings as we please. That's some interesting wording. Another thing I was told in the comments of last episode is that this game lives and breathes bullshit. And that exact wording is often unfair and means more than you'd think beforehand. Not to mention, like, already I believe Shannon and Canon are the culprits. They carried out the murders in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th game, and probably also 6th, 7th, and 8th, I'd imagine. And that this elder sister, Beatrice, represents Shannon, and the younger one, well, I don't know if that one's technically younger, represents Canon. And then this wording here, we will become a single witch. In which case that, like, implies Shannon and Canon fucking do a fusion dance or some shit and become the same person. Like, is that even possible? like, they'd have to be different people, at the very least. They're two different entities. Like, with the closed room ring, Cannon's dead body, Shannon's dead body. Like, I guess if they were the same person, it would imply different things about, like, why Cannon's body disappears in the second and fourth games when Shannon's body is clearly findable. And then, well, then in the first game, actually, Shannon's body is no longer findable when they lock the shed, but Cannon's... Cannon also died. Well, if Shannon and Cannon were the same person, then that wouldn't explain much about Cannon dying. Like, it says he doesn't... Like, okay, I don't remember the red truths from there, but when Cannon says something along the lines... No, the red truth in the fourth game, referring to Cannon's death in the first game, it says things like, he was not killed by a different person, he did not kill himself, and he was not disguised as somebody else, which in and of itself is odd, unless it's like, I mean, if Shannon and Cannon were the same person, then it would be like a multiple personalities type deal. In which case, would that mean, like, if you kill, like, would that mean, like, Shannon takes but Shannon's dead, but granted, she's not technically dead. I'd assume, like, I was suspecting as early as, like, towards the end of the first game, before Genji, Nanjo, and Kumasawa died, that Shannon faked her death, and she was the one who killed Cannon. But if Shannon and Cannon were the same person, then that would mean they're different personalities. Shannon could have still faked her death, because there would have been no body there anyway, since Cannon was there. So would that mean her, like, Shannon is still alive, and, like, she, like, for the fifth Twilight, as a alternate personality in her mind, she killed off the part of her brain that was Cannon, and just became Shannon? Because then, when Cannon was stabbed, Nanjo took him away, and then was just like, later, oh, he died. Like, did he take him away because he knew, shit, he's about to turn into Shannon? I mean, that would also explain why, Shannon and Cannon are never together talking to the cousins, or really ever together in any case. Like, the only times I can think of where they are together at any given time are, like, at the first Twilight of the fourth game. They're both there, but Battler isn't. Battler was not observing there, so that isn't objective, obviously, since Kinzo isn't there. That's interesting, then. I can't really think of a reason why Shannon and Cannon couldn't be the same person, then. That's very weird. Like, I think that's a twist that the game would try to pull on you, saying shit like all this third-rate crap, like, it just being a person for a reason. Like, Natsuhi, oh, what a boring answer, it's her. Her motive is so obvious. But if something like Shannon and Cannon are the same person, then that would imply a lot of shit too. But even if they are, that would imply that with Kinzo dying, there are 16 people, and Erika being added in, there's 17. So, that's odd. Okay, let me think more about this. What else does this explain? The closed room ring is actually, I forgot about. That kind of throws a wrench in that theory, doesn't it? Unless they can switch to the dead version of themselves. Like, the first body discovered there was Shannon, and the last one was Cannon. I remember that much. I don't remember the exact order. I think it went like Shannon, Goda... No, Shannon, Kumasawa, Goda, Genji, Kinzo, Cannon. I think. So, Shannon being the first one found dead. But then, if they're both dead... Because the thing is, if Shannon died there, if Cannon killed Shannon and Shannon was there, dead, then switched back to himself when they left and ran off to the chapel and hid himself in there, first off, how'd he get in there? I mean, he has a master key, so I guess that would explain it. That would mean Shannon and Cannon, if they're the same person, they have 2 master keys on them at the same time. That's interesting, too. But, yeah, if Cannon is, if Canon is the only one of the two still alive, they run out, or just Canon runs out to the chapel and kills himself in there. That much is fine, but then George goes back and finds Shannon's body. But was it ever mentioned? Yeah, Shannon's body was there alongside George's body, unless it wasn't even explicitly mentioned that Shannon's body wasn't there, because if that's the case, that explains it, unless they have some third personality. Like, maybe Genji is also the same person as them. Is that possible? Like, the three one-wing... Okay, actually. Let me look at these two as intently as I can. So, the tattoo on her leg... But wait, if they're the same person, then that would mean shit like... Their proportions don't really line up well, because Canon's taller. Actually, he has raised shoes. He has raised shoes, and about that much actually does make it so they're probably the same height, if he gets out of the raised shoes. Their hair is similar, but it changes colors. Their eyes are the same color, but different shapes, not to mention Shannon's kind of a girl and Canon's kind of a guy. Unless, like, and not to mention, how the hell would Shannon's breasts work in this case? Like, unless they're fake, in which case that would work, but Canon looks considerably broader than Shannon does. I don't know. I'll keep it in mind, but I'm not convinced that they're the same person, because it could still be easily explained if they're different people. But that's just me spitballing based on this one line. We will become a single witch. Like, that much can just throw me off track. I don't even know if I was thrown off track by that, or if I found out something that I'm not technically supposed to yet. I say found out like it's the truth. I don't know. We won't have to be afraid of anyone's gaze anymore. We'll be able to fly wherever we wish, disappear whenever we want, laugh however we like, prank however we like, talk with anyone we want to. Humans might ask things of us from time to time. They might fight with us or play with us too. What wonderful things for us frail creatures who cannot appear before anyone to look forward to. But wait, no, that's not how DID even works, come to think of it. I don't think they're the same person. DID does not work like that. I don't know what I was going on about then. If Shannon and Canon were the same person, and they are just different personalities of the same person, that's not how the fuck it works. You can't change your hair color unless one or the other is wearing a wig. Like, they both have, like, hair going over their above their left eye, sort of. Their hair's similar, but again, different colors. Unless they are the same color and it's just perspective, but no, there's no way. Hell, even the hair detail lines are pretty similar. But, like, DID does not work like that. If Shannon and Canon are the same person, that would mean they are multiple personalities of the same person. Like, changing their clothes, fine. Hell, putting in fake breasts, putting on a wig, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. But then shit like, they can't leave behind as a corpse and then switch to the other person. Because the thing is, unless even the third game was all just faked, all just a game, then that wouldn't make any sense. Either way, that's not how DID works. That would be fucking magic if they just kill them. Like, if one dies, both dies. That's how the fuck it should work. Unless there was an accomplice who carried the body, changed the clothes and all that, and put them in the chapel. And then did it again, brought them to the parlor. That doesn't make any sense. That there's no way you can kill off half of yourself and leave a corpse. That doesn't make sense. Right now, they are little more than pranks. However, as they pile up, proof that we'll exist will begin to gather. The servants already call me the witch, Beatrice, master of the night, and are beginning to believe in me bit by bit.
The more they believe, the more those humans will lose their anti-magic toxin.
Unless they just mean it's figurative, like they make a figurative Beatrice. Like, but then that doesn't explain Nanjo still. But granted, with Shannon and Canon, whether they're the same person or not, Nanjo cannot die. But if they're the same person, could they have a third personality? But Genji's dead. Unless their third personality is Beatrice. which works, I guess. But then you could give them as many personalities as possible, and that's just kind of weird. Now, come to think of it, in the third game, Battler did ask Eva Beatrice if it was possible that Jessica had some alternate personality that doesn't count as Jessica. And then he also, like, said the same thing about Nanjo and Eva, too, I believe. Was that meant to be a clue to the fact that multiple personalities can be part of the crime? Because he didn't ask about Shannon and Cannon. He only asked about Jessica, at least. I don't remember if he asked about Nanjo or Eva. Probably not George, either. Actually, no. My theory that George was if George is an accomplice, like, George and Jessica could be accomplices of Shannon and Cannon, right? But then you can just throw as many accomplices at the wall as possible. Whatever. I'm theory crafting quite a bit and not really reading much. I see. So this means that Father has no anti-magic toxin. And that's because he truly believes in the existence of the witch I am, without any doubts. I finally realized that. Though I thought him to be cold, Father does possess a kindness that can't be seen.
I'd like to become a great witch and appear in front of everyone soon.
Indeed. Eventually, we will be able to appear openly in front of anyone. By doing that repeatedly, we shall make people believe in us even more. And eventually, we shall display even our magic for all to see. Hold on, 5th game, parlor. Shannon and Cannon were not... Was it the parlor or the dining room? One of the two. Shannon and Cannon were in the same room as Battler wasn't a detective? I'm stupid. Huh. At that time, we shall descend upon Rokanjima as the great witch you told me of. That's such a weird theory. Does it work? Does it not? Because there's definitely things like the fact that Shannon and Cannon, to my knowledge, have not existed in the same room at the same time as the detective. Which is, of course, Battler in the first 4 games, assumedly. And Erika in the 5th game. That's an oddity there. How does that work, then? Because that evidence alone implies they can be the same person. But then shit like the closed room ring doesn't make sense. Nanjo's death doesn't make... Like, if the 3rd game didn't exist, this would make sense. Because Shannon's body is not... Shannon and Cannon actually don't have any set body location in the 1st game. And Shannon's body, of course, isn't specifically seen by Battler. He was just told Shannon's dead, and he believed it, and as the detective, it registered as her dying. And then Cannon's body is unfindable in the 2nd and 4th games. And then, of course, in the 5th game, neither of them die. It stopped before everybody died. The 3rd game alone makes this theory not really work well. It's odd. Like, if it was just the closed room ring and Nanjo, those 2 things, if it were possible that if they... I guess if they're the same person, that adds room for a 17th person in that game. Like, we already have the Red Truth. Erika had no involvement in the first 4 games. But that doesn't mean there wasn't another person, a 17th person to add to the mix who killed Nanjo. That's possible in the first 4 games, is it not? That would also explain the parlor in the 1st game. The chapel in the 2nd game is confusing anyways, but whatever.
The logic of the witch side is quite interesting. It keeps me entertained. It does sound credible in a way. When humans are frightened to hear that they've entered a ghost hotspot, they're likely to start yelling, "Ghost, ghost," at the drop of a hat. Sorry, I dropped my hat. See you later, m'ladies. Who was that? That's right. At a fundamental level, all phenomena are neutral, indifferent, and dull. If you want them be viewed in a certain way, you must first create a suitable environment. If a person has charisma, people interpret what they do in a positive way, even when they screw up. I see. I guess in that sense, the Beato's small efforts aren't misguided. If it was just the mansion's locks being undone, everything could be resolved by saying that someone forgot to lock up, or that it was some kind of prank. However, the rumors of a witch wandering about the mansion night after night slowly began to take shape as the existence of the witch.
Okay, this is Featherin talking again.
An environment was established so that,
If anything strange happened in the mansion at night, it would all be viewed as the work of the witch. Oh, that was Angie talking. I'm stupid. An environment was established so that if anything strange happened in the mansion at night, it would all be viewed as the work of the witch. I get it. If you follow that reasoning to an extreme, then what you get is no different from a witch existing in the mansion at night. I'm probably going to keep quiet about Shannon and Cannon being the same person for a while. Like, I'll still think about it, obviously. But until I see something that further confirms it or further denies it, because it's up in the air right now, then, yeah. I have no reason to talk about it, because I've said everything I really can with that. Kind of run it into the ground until we get more evidence either way. Like, I know the game's solvable at this point. I've been told it multiple times. The game is solvable as of the end of Chapter 4. So, yeah, at that point, if Shannon and Cannon truly are the same person, you could have figured it out by then. Which, I don't know how you can do that, but whatever. After the Beatos finished their mischief of unlocking and opening the window, they enjoyed the coolness of the wind and the brightness of the moon, then became gold butterflies and disappeared into the darkness. I realize I'm kind of jittery on that theory, but that's because it's odd. I feel like either I'm right or I'm super wrong. There was no way of knowing whether the window they had opened had actually been opened by them. The servants might have forgotten to lock up, or one of the family might have opened it after the servants had locked up and forgotten to shut it again. Or maybe someone had played a prank. In the same way that none of those possibilities could be denied, it was also impossible to deny the possibility that a witch really had opened a window to enjoy the night breeze. Alright. A result without an observer can possess an endless number of ways in which it might have occurred. Humans who can't grasp anything more than a single possibility are unable to imagine anything. One who knows nothing can understand nothing. Go away. However, people who believe in the possibility of a witch can imagine that it was a witch's prank. When that happens, the scene of the Beatrice's prank that we have just seen is etched into the fragment as a fact. That's one of the foundations of magic. Embellishing the process. With just a little magic, even a mass-produced stuffed animal can be reborn as a wonderful, unique stuffed animal filled with a mother's love. Wasn't there a red truth that there's only one, Sakutaro doll, though? If you doubt it, it'll be burnt by the anti-magic Toxin. If you believe it, that magic will become the truth. Not all magic is bad. Maria was right. Good magic exists too. It may be necessary for a child of man to possess the power to repel evil magic. However, refusing to burn away and defile love-filled magic is part of how love in the human world works. Well, good magic is the only kind I can forgive. For all the other kinds, the best remedy is to deny them and burn them away. A typical answer for a child of man. Getting back to the point, knowing this much, I guess this means that the ghost Beatrice, who is called the ruler of Rokenjima's night, doesn't really exist. It's nothing more than a general term for any inexplicable occurrences that take place in the mansion after dark. In other words, Beatrice isn't the name of a person, it's the name of a phenomenon. I just remembered this too. Was it at the end of last episode or the end of 2 episodes ago? 2 episodes ago, I think. At the end of that episode, we were shown Shannon and Cannon talking in, I think, the cousin's room or one of the guest rooms or someplace. And, like, they were discussing their love for George and Jessica as if only one of them, like, if one of them has their love requited, then the other cannot. If they're the same person, that makes sense. Like, obviously, if Shannon is with Jessica, then... No, if Cannon is with Jessica, then Shannon can't be with George, and if George is with Shannon, then Cannon can't be with Jessica. That much makes sense, but I'm still not convinced because of the third game. It might even be a red herring at this point. If anything bizarre happens, it all becomes the work of the Golden Witch. That environment in which a witch could exist is what Beatrice is. That keeps building on itself until we reach 1986. This is the veil that the true culprit is hiding behind. and the person hiding behind it is, without a doubt, a human. Perhaps that holds true at this point in the witch's tale of the past. However, I doubt you can use that argument alone to fight all the way through 1986, don't you? That was probably supposed to be like 15 minutes. Oh, back here. Ridiculous. Wasn't that obviously because someone forgot to lock up?
Well, you may say that, but this isn't just something that happened once or twice.
In other words, you're a klutz, a fool, and a moron of a servant who forgot to check not just once or twice, but many times over. Shannon isn't the only one. That same window was always opened even when other servants did the rounds. Yeah, Mom even asked me if I'd ever left a window open in the hall at night. I had absolutely nothing to do with it, but she still got pissed. Sheesh. Oh, Maria is here too.
I'm sure Beatrice wanted to gaze at the moon. Ew.
It is a bit creepy to have that happen over and over at the same window. And that time when the kitchenware was piled up in the kitchen, with a creepy magic circle scribbled there. Sounds even more freaky.
Yes, they said it was an eerie magic circle drawn with something like blood. Ever since then, people have been scared to patrol the kitchen.
About the case of the eerie magic circle in the kitchen, who witnessed that?
Well, it wasn't me. I think I heard it about it from a servant kid who quit. I wasn't on duty that day.
So it's basically like this. Just like those exaggerated stories you hear about haunted locations all over the world, you servants like to have a little fun telling ghost stories about the nighttime mansion, right? You talk as though the witch exists and infect others with that belief. So, all of the eerie things that are supposedly done by Beatrice are baseless rumors, which are either the result of coincidence and accident, or something that someone fabricated for fun. Is that what you're trying to say? Exactly. Of course there's no way Beatrice exists.
Beatrice exists. I'm glad you understand so well, Battler.
There's probably some person by that name, or else multiple persons of a fixed or unfixed number who do things and attribute it to that name. However, this delusion of a golden witch Beatrice that we're all thinking of is completely impossible.
Oh! Beatrice exists! I've met her!
Oh, could you tell me about that in detail? You met Beatrice? And did she show you magic or something? Oh boy.
Ow! I see her all the time! Every time I come to Rokanjima! And she always shows me fun magic!
Denying the existence of the witch would always have the immediate effect of infuriating Maria. However, Erika, who didn't know this trick to avoid Maria's fury, plunged into it head on. But no matter how Maria tried to sell the idea of Beatrice's existence, she stood no chance of defeating the ruthlessly intelligent Erika in an argument. George and Jessica hurriedly tried to calm Maria down, but there could be no quelling her anger at this point.
Good! So, she showed you magic? Could you explain in detail what kind of magic? She would always use magic to give me candy as a present. Banto can create candy with magic!
She just took it out of her pocket, didn't she?
No, she didn't! It was magic! It was incredible! Tons of candies poured out of an empty cup!
Wow, that's some awesome magic. That's right, that really would be magic.
Yeah, it was magic! It really was empty! I checked inside it myself!
Huh? What do you mean you checked inside it? Give it a rest, Erika. She's just a kid.
Come to think of it, Erika, would you like some more
I still have a slight cough, obviously.
No thank you.
I'm having a seriously intellectual discussion over here. Erika, what is it with your ridiculous lines? Like, uh-oh, I hear Gundam. I heard a great line over here. What is this? Why are they all always from you? Don't blame me, it's the writer who did it. The writer. Understandable, I shall go have a talk with them. I'd like to discuss some great lines with them. Toodaloo. But seriously though, like first she's up to 4 now. Like, she calls herself an intellectual rapist. She says, take that, dead people. she says, I forget, like, she said something last episode, I forgot exactly what it was. Something about cheese and brains. And now she has, I'm having a seriously intellectual discussion over here. Just like, get out of my room, I'm having a seriously intellectual discussion over here. You outsiders can stay out of this. You have to tell me in more detail, Maria. What do you mean when you say that you checked inside it? Fortunately, we have right here with us a teacup that's just been overturned and emptied. Come on, be my guest and reenact what happened then, okay? Let's see it. If you would, let's see it! After holding the cup of black tea, which she had just overturned and was still dripping, upside down over the table, Erika slammed it down hard and slid it over to Maria. Erika's eyes glowed repulsively, like those of a snake about to snap up a frog. Those eyes were ice cold and had a madness in them that made one want to avert their gaze. On the other hand, Maria was glaring furiously, her whole body shaking uncontrollably, in the greatest expression of anger that a human can manage. The look on her face was frightening, not at all what you'd expect from a 9-year-old girl. That's Maria for you.
Stop it, both of you. Oh, okay. Beatrice took the empty cup, and then she did this. She put it upside down on the table. Yeah, and then what? Did she lift it up right away and candies flowed out? Incredible. That really would be magic, right? It would be.
Battler and the others tried to get between the two and calm them down, but it was no use. They violently pushed aside the others, and, glaring at each other from so close that their foreheads banged together, they repeatedly slammed the upside-down cup on the table. The sound of their foreheads banging together and the cup being slapped down shattered the barrier between reality and illusion. I did not expect that.
It's magic! It's magic! Beatrice used magic to make candies appear! Then why don't you reproduce it for us? Founder of Mariade Sorcière, Maria, the Witch of Origins!
What's with saying her entire title? Like, are you Wonder Red all of a sudden? Just like, well, if it isn't... I can't even say that right now, I'm laughing too much. Oh, hello, Dweller.
Lady Erika. This opponent is not worth your time. This battle is not worth fighting.
Shut up, murder doll!
Okay, how do you claim that the overturned cup was filled with candies? Just turning the cup over won't make candies come out, because you have to use magic. Beato can use magic because she's a witch. Oh yes, magic. She used magic. How did she use magic? Did she swing a magic wand and tap the cup to make candies pour out? No, that can't be it, right?
And there she goes.
Beato's a witch, so she uses magic! Magic happens when you say an incantation and cause a miracle! You can't use the magic that makes candy unless you say the incantation! Oh sure, understood. Good, good, very good. Let's see this incantation. Let's see this magic. Come on. What kind of incantation would a witch use? What kind?
I don't know which one of them speaking. I'll just, assume Maria.
Come, try and picture it. The inside of the cup is filled with candies. Try and picture such a wonder. Oh, and then what? Look, the inside of the cup is filled with candy.
Maria grasped the overturned cup so tightly that it nearly cracked, and slowly lifted it up. Then from the inside, several cute candies poured out. Maria looked at Erika with a full smile, as if to say, that showed you.
Good. And this is what you'd like to call Beatrice's magic, is it? Dlanner! Beat her to death.
Okay, beat up a 9-year-old girl, why don't ya?
As you wish. I won't let anyone deny Beato's magic, because magic is magic! Magic is impossible. You might be telling a lie about something that never happened.
She is 9.
Repetition demanded. Failure to respond will be a violation of Nox's 7th. I'll respond. This is the truth. This is a story of something that really happened.
This wouldn't have anything to do with the trick in the actual cup or table, making this just a sleight of hand, right? That would be against the rules, wouldn't it? Hidden devices and tricks are in violation of Nox's third. What, slipping candy into the cup is a hard to understand scientific device? If and only if foreshadowing has been presented, these are permitted by Nox's eighth. Nox's third prohibits hidden doors and devices that have no clues pointing towards them. However, by presenting foreshadowing and clues that point toward the existence of said devices, Nox's eighth allows them to be used. There were no tricks like that! It was just an ordinary table and an ordinary cup. So it was magic, not sleight of hand! Understood. By Nox's ninth, we acknowledge that Lady Maria witnessed magic. That's right, with the ninth at least. Observers are always allowed to speak their personal opinions. Otherwise, mysteries where the culprit is seen dressed up as a woman, and it's written, "I saw a woman," would all be disqualified. Sure, that's fine. Claim that you saw magic all you want. All truths are nothing more than claims, so I'll make a different claim and see straight through yours to the truth. That's the detective's duty, and where we shine the most! There's nothing to see through. This is magic! Since it is magic, only witches can use it, right? That's right. Only witches can use it. So if a human like me could use it too, that would mean it isn't magic, right? You can't use it! Only Beato can use magic! Good! Then why don't I show you? I'll make candy appear from out of this empty cup! If you think you can, just try! Impossible! Impossible! Useless! Useless! There's no way a human can do it! Then please, please, please just relax and watch! Here we have an empty cup. Is that okay? It is, isn't it? Then we turn it over on the table like this. Hello, Gertrude. Let it be known that this fight has no purpose. Okay, can you say the incantation for creating candies? In fact, why don't we say it together? Come, try and picture it. The inside of the cup is filled with candy. Try and picture such a wonder. Stop! Maria, why did you close your eyes when you said the incantation? Oh, Maria was saying that. I see. Why not witness the miracle of magic? Humans are polluted by the anti-magic toxin. If a lowly human saw it, the miracle of magic would be wiped out of existence. That's why the rules say that lowly humans have to close their eyes when using magic. I see, I see. Okay, I understand the protocol for humans to follow when magic's being used. In other words, not once have you ever witnessed the moment that magic happened. Isn't that right? Look, it's done now. Please, try and lift up the cup, okay? After all, I've used magic to make candies appear. There's no way someone who makes fun of witches could use candy magic. Candy magic. Then if it actually does work, it'd be pretty amazing, huh? After glaring at Erika with the utmost of malice, Maria slowly stretched her hand out towards the overturned cup. There was no way that Erika, someone who made fun of witches like this, could ever use magic. There was no way that there'd be candy there. So how's it look inside? And there lay a single candy with a cute wrapper. See? This is magic, right? Erika smiled gently. A look of disbelieving shock rose to Maria's eyes, along with envy for this person who could use the same magic as Beato. Erika, you can use magic too? See? It's magic, isn't it? What I did there. Yeah! So in other words, Erika smiled pleasantly. She and Maria had finally reached a deep understanding, and then fucking cuts her throat, basically. Yep! Of course it isn't! While you had your eyes closed, I just lifted the cup up and tossed the candy in. You call that magic? It's just a third-rate trick! There's my blue truth as the detective. Now as the witch of truth, here's my red truth! Your so-called candy magic is nothing more than a sleight of hand. Just a sleight of hand that the fake witch, calling herself Beatrice or whatever, claimed was magic. Doesn't that red truth deny witches? Nah, probably not directly, I guess. I mean, seriously, did you really get fooled by such a stupid parlor trick? Any magic related by your perspective can't be trusted at all. Everything you ever thought was magic was just a trick that you didn't get. There's no way that was magic. There's no way magic exists. Yep, again, beat up a 9-year-old girl. Why are you angry about that? Huh? Hello? What is up, Sakutaro? Hi! What's up, man? Been a while. Okay. It might have been sleight of hand when you put candy in this cup, but that doesn't prove that Beato's magic was also sleight of hand. Ryu? However, you also can't prove that only magic could have done it. You rotten stuffed animal! Wait, what the hell are you? Hello, Delanner. Please, allow me to speak. Know that this is a meaningless battle. You goddamn scraps of paper! Why'd you have to butt in at the good part? That is enough. Lady Maria has been shown that the candy cup magic could possibly be a trick that she misunderstood to be magic. Therefore, her claim that it was magic is dismissed. However, it might really have been magic when Maria saw it. Just because it can be done by sleight of hand doesn't disprove magic. Well done, Lady Erika. Congratulations on crushing Lady Maria's illusion of the witch. An illusion of the witch occurs when someone tries to force the acknowledgement of magic by claiming that a thing would be impossible without it. It's how witches launch an attack. If someone's able to successfully argue back and show that it would be possible without magic, the illusion of the witch is defeated, and the witch must retreat. Then, the magic Maria claimed to have seen could have been a trick, so it was unqualified to be acknowledged as magic. However, that was only the result of this battle. It was still too early to bring the fight into the domain of denying Beatrice, the witch, and the magic that Maria believed in. However, battles always end instantly when your opponent surrenders. Erika had wanted to hit Maria with everything at once, defiling the witch and magic she believed in, and crushing it without a fragment of compassion. Just one more step and I'd have been able to take a heart as innocent as the smooth sand just after a wave is pulled back, and tear it to bits. What a shame. This isn't any fun anymore. Are you satisfied now? Ouch! Ow! Erika grumpily punched Delanner's arm that had been restraining her. However, that cold, hard, marble-like arm just made Erika's hand hurt. Diplomatic immunity! This battle is over! Allow me to speak. Diplomatic immunity accepted. Know that this fight is childish. Did you say something? She did not. Let us withdraw. Lady Maria is no enemy of yours, Lady Erika. There is no need to pay any attention to small fry such as this. You're right. How childish of me, tearing a kid's dreams apart. I'm really sorry, okay? I apologize for my momentary lack of elegance. Let's go. Erika and the others turned their backs on Maria, who was still crouching down limply. However, as detectives in famous mysteries have always done in the past, Erika clapped her hands, stopped, and turned around. Oh, that's right. What do you think? Of course she's using her fucking catchphrase. Yup! She's like, shit, I forgot to say my catchphrase. Hold on, shit, let me go back. Simply by the existence of the Overturned Cup, this level of reasoning was possible for Furuto Erika. What do you think, everyone? Erika's merciless words gouged themselves into Maria's heart once more. Cackle, 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 cackle. Ah-ha-ha-ha-ha-ha-ha. Erika left, leaving an evil laugh behind her. And away they go. After bowing to Maria and Sakutaro, Delanner left too. Gertrude and Cornelia followed suit. I thought it was Cordelia, I guess I forgot. After that, only Maria and Sakutaro were left in the lonely Golden Land. Well, shit. Why'd you gotta go and beat up a 9-year-old like that?
Ryu. Beato is a witch. Ryu. Beato is a witch. It was magic. It was magic. It was magic. Beato used magic to give you candy. You don't need to doubt that. Ryu, please believe in Beato. You know that magic can't bear fruit unless you believe.
Crying is difficult for someone who's not great at voice acting, especially voice acting a 9-year-old girl. Surrounded by an ice-cold drizzle that had started falling at some point, Maria cried quietly. Trying to at least protect her from the rain, Sakutaro used his large sleeves to cover Maria's head, and stayed there by her side. Well, shit. As usual, Erika's a bitch.
Okay, let's go, Maria. Let's play cards together in the room upstairs.
Erika, as an adult, I can't say I was very impressed by that conversation just now.
My apologies. I'm still just a kid, after all.
After seeing that wonderful candy magic brutally insulted by Erika, Maria had been crying non-stop. I started noticing it as soon as the after-dinner quiz party, but your personality really is screwed up. Do you think this is fun? Do you like tearing a little kid's dreams apart?
Please stop, Battler. Please, for my sake, don't push any further here. Please.
Shannon, who had been looking flustered, bowed her head deeply and implored Battler to stop. George, who didn't want Shannon pressured, fell in line. Let's go. Let's spend this year in the cousin room again. We can watch TV and play cards.
I've heard that Erika has her own room. Shannon, please guide her there. Oh, no need to bother yet. I'll relax down here for a little while longer. I want to savor it a bit.
What the hell are you trying to savor? Battler and the others could no longer hide their irritation. They had no obligation to entertain their uninvited guests any further than this. Erika herself understood perfectly well that no place would welcome a detective. Battler and the others wanted to leave, and Erika wanted to stay. Neither had any desire to stop the other. Jessica urged Maria, who was still crying, to come along. Then Maria stopped and spun around. I'm assuming Erika's talking.
Got a problem?
Yep, of course she's laughing.
They do exist here and there. Humans who are practically lumps of the toxin and don't believe in magic. There were lots of boys like you in my class. They don't believe in witches, or magic, or miracles, or happiness. You can't become a witch if you let the toxin of people like that burn you to ashes. I may not look it, but I'm Beatrice's disciple. I'm the apprentice witch of origins.
Maria, who had been crying quietly a second ago, seemed to have been transformed into an entirely different person. A line like that after, like, 30 minutes ago I make a theory about Shannon and Cannon being the same person. Oh my god. Is this some insight on how DID might work in this world? But granted, Maria dies when she dies, so whatever. She laughed. No. Cackled eerily. I guess that's just metaphorical though, but still. Battler's group stiffened up at this sudden change, but Erika was watching calmly. Then she smiled and gave a small nod in response.
Good. You've got some guts. Good night, Miss Maria. Let's fight in a more challenging game next time. Sure, let's. It's a promise.
You stop that too, Maria. Come on, let's go. What about you, Shannon? Come with us, if you want, to play cards. Come on, join us for at least one round. It'll cheer you up.
Then, just for a bit.
Shannon couldn't remain in the suffocating lounge any longer either. In part apologetic and in part trying to escape, she followed after Battler's group. After that, Erika was the only one left in the lounge. Still wearing a thin smile, she tapped the glass with her finger. There was a light chink, a surprisingly boring sound. Even so, Erika wore a thin smile as though pleased. Ho ho ho! Sorry to keep you waiting. I was just in the bath. Oh, where is everyone?
You just missed them. They went up to the second floor. I'm the one who called you here. I've heard that you know a lot about the story of Akujikishima and the tale of the Witch of the Forest.
Yes, well, ho ho ho. It is a trivial story, but...
I don't mind in the slightest if it's trivial. Would you like a drink to follow your bath? Even I like to be helpful every now and then.
Erika stood up, opened the refrigerator behind the counter, and put ice into the ice pail. So Erika and Kumasawa are gonna have a conversation. Interesting. Erika seems to like having random conversations with people. Like, she talked a lot with Nanjo in Chapter 5. It is now a little after 10, so like 10:03. I know how to read clocks. Well, oh boy. Arbor? Ah, I see. So this is the proposal now. Okay, well, either way, that's gonna be it for this episode, guys. I don't know if I made progress towards trying to figure out who the culprit is or not, but obviously do not tell me whether I'm right or not. Hell, I'd say even don't give hints. I'd like to figure it out on my own. But, yeah, either way, I'm either more correct than I've ever been or more wrong than I've ever been. But either way, that's going to be it for this episode, guys. If you liked it, be sure to press the like button. And if you didn't like it, fuck you too. Remember to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all my videos and stuff. And as always, my name is Godzi, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye!